I'm Paul Klenck, Deputy General Counsel of the Illinois Education Association. The IEA represents over 130,000 school employees throughout the state of Illinois. And I'm often asked to speak to student teachers or to groups of members regarding technology issues, because the legal department often faces cases of employees who have gotten into trouble because of misuse of computer or even home use or off-duty use of computers. This video is a short presentation of some tips of how to avoid getting in trouble. The first and most important is if your school has an acceptable use policy, which it should, and you've probably signed one, is to read that document carefully, understand the terms, and understand what is acceptable and what is unacceptable use. And if you have any questions, get clarification of that policy. Also, assume that when you are using your employer's computer equipment or internet service, that you have no privacy on that system. That anything that you access, anything that you post using that system will be accessible to your employer. A third point is protecting your image. Make sure, especially for teachers, that you maintain the same professional boundary online that you would in the classroom. If you're not going to talk to your students about the parties that you were engaged in over the weekend, don't put that on websites that are accessible to students or to parents or to others. Also, be aware of the generational difference in the use of the internet and social networking sites. Many of the supervisors and parents are not as comfortable as many younger teachers or student teachers are with posting personal information on generally accessible websites. So be aware of those generational differences and the confusions that may arise because of that. Prevention is the key. Don't put matters online that you will be concerned about or embarrassed about later. It is very difficult to get matters off of the internet once you have posted them there. Also, when you are at work, avoid going on any website that is at all questionable. There will be a record of where you have gone to, and that can come back and haunt you later. Also, don't assume that you can hide your identity by posting anonymously. You may be able to be tracked down even though you've not listed your name when you've made postings, that those can be easily, or not so easily, but they can be tracked down. And finally, it is a good habit to investigate in yourself and your presence on the internet. Do a regular search using Google or Yahoo or other search engines. And you may want to use the Google alert system that anytime your name or information about you gets on the internet, that you get notice of that. The problem with that school employees confront is that they have to be role models. And even their off-duty behavior, they can be held accountable if that behavior has a connection to their workplace or impacts their ability to perform their duties. And with the prevalence of videos and other photography, that employees can be videotaped or have their pictures taken that they're unaware of, and that those pictures are then posted, and then parents and other members of the public have access to those embarrassing situations. There was a teacher recently in the state of Michigan who was, during the summer at a place nowhere near her school, was caught in some very embarrassing activities in public that, unbeknownst to her, people took pictures of, posted on. It looked like she was engaging in lewd behavior in public. It was a misleading photo, and she ended up getting dismissed and having to fight it through various appeals and court levels because of that conduct. Well, for young teachers, first of all, those who are non-tenured teachers, a school district can make a decision at the end of the year not to renew that employee. And they do not have to give a reason during your first 3 years of employment. So be aware that the school is looking at a whole variety of matters to make that determination of how you fit into the school community. Tenured teachers have greater protections. There, the district has to show that there is some connection to their work regarding the behavior that they were engaged in. And then they have to show that that conduct was irremediable, that it was so damaging that the only reasonable choice is to dismiss the teacher. Short of dismissal, a teacher can be subject to other sanctions, such as short suspensions, and to look at the district's discipline policy to determine what the range of discipline, or maybe just a restriction of what their on-duty use of computers and the internet would be.